Welcome to Basement MTG with me, a nerd in his basement. In this video I'll be testing my 4-color Phyrexian deck against the Self-Playing to Defeat a God deck. This deck has all colors except red. Give it a quick shuffle up here. See if we can't defeat this god. God in question is Xenagos. 6/5. He starts on the battlefield as well as 2 Rollicking Throngs that are 1/3s. Shuffle this up quick. And let's hope we can get a decent draw to start with some lands. It is a 4-color deck, so we're going to need some good lands. So 2 lands in the hand, but possibility of 3 of the colors I need out of the 4. We'll give it, I'm going to look ahead a little bit here. Yep. We're going to do a quick reshuffle. All my decks are built casually. I don't follow any bans or limited restrictions, anything like that. I just play with friends. And honestly, we're all pretty lax on the reshuffle. So I'm going to be lax during my testing as well. We don't typically get together just so someone can sit there with no lands. Alright, now this is much better. Start for lands. So I'll start with a Terramorphic Expanse. And I'm going to search up a forest. And there's one right there. Alright. Turn 2. I'm going to take 3 turns before the God deck starts going. Play the Razor Verge Thicket. So it enters tapped unless there's 2 or fewer other lands, which there is. Then I'm going to use that to play Norn's Wellspring. Creature you control dies, scry 1, put an oil counter on it. You can remove 2 oil counters to draw a card. And we'll go ahead and play a Swamp and play a Bloated Processor. Sack another Phyrexian to put a 1/1 counter on him. When this thing dies, incubate X, where X is its power. So that's 3 turns. Now the God deck will start to go. It's a Rollicking Throng. It's what starts out on the field. But when you draw one off the deck, it says normally you take 2 cards out of the deck to put on. This one, though, when it enters, you do an additional one. So we're still going to do 2 more. Sorcery. Another Rollicking Throng, so another one. And a 2/4 Death Touch. Now this Impulsive Return returns 2 cards named Ecstatic Piper out of the graveyard, which are none, there aren't any in there yet, obviously. But also at the beginning of combat, that card will deal damage to each player for the number of Revelers on the field, which all the creatures in this deck are Revelers. Xenagos is the only one that's not. He is the god. So there are 5. I'm going to be taking 5. Let's see. Maybe I'm getting a little too many lands this time around, but I'll play a Blossoming Sands and gain 1 life. And that's pretty much all I can do here. So back to the god, another Impulsive Return. And at the beginning of combat, each Reveler deals 1 damage to each player and each creature. Wow, I'm just going to be getting hit with their sorceries. So basically taking 10 damage, and my creature is as well. So when it dies, it will incubate 3, though. Going down to 6, so incubate 3 just means, let's see, I got some incubating tokens over here. It's this artifact token. It's got 2 to transform it. Incubate 3 means it's got 3 1/1 counters on it. So when it flips, it will be a 3/3 Phyrexian. And it's my turn. Okay. So I'm going to play Elish Norn. 4 mana. Vigilance, when the source an opponent controls deals damage to me or permanent I control, that source's controller loses 2 life unless they pay 1. Now obviously with this type of deck, kind of makes that ability obsolete. Sometimes I just kind of alternate. Sometimes we'll have it lose 2 life or not. This doesn't, I mean, there is no life really in this deck, so sometimes I just do it to the creatures as they are kind of the player in a way. It's kind of tricky to come up with it in these types of situations, but kind of just roll with it and imagine how it'd be in a normal game. Oh, and I never did scry 1, whatever. I'll skip that, but I will put the oil counter on the Norn's Wellspring for that creature dying. Now we'll have an Ecstatic Piper and Xenagos' Strike. Wow. Dealing 4 damage straight up puts me down to 2. But the Ecstatic Piper is one of the creatures in this deck that when it enters, it will attack right away. It's a 2/2. I'll block with a 3/5. And it has a hero reward. When it dies, gain 2 life. So put me back up to 4. All right. Some high mana cards in my hand that I cannot play. But I can tap to flip the Incubator. Turns into the Phyrexian with the counters as a 3/3. And since this has Vigilance, I will attack. You do attack the creatures straight on, so I'll attack one of the Rollicking Throngs just to get rid of something over there. We'll go off the top, so a 4/2 and the Ecstatic Piper, the 2/2. Now the 4/2 is one that if there's 5 or more Revelers, it will also attack, and there are. So I'll block the 2/2 with the 3/3 Phyrexian token, and the 4/2 with Elish Norn. It's a 3/5. These both have a hero reward. The Ecstatic Piper, as you know, the 2 life. The other one has 3 life, so I'm going to gain 5 life, which is good. I need to get some of that back after taking those hits. So let's see. Got 7 mana now. I could kind of hang back and save it for a Soul Tie Charm, but I'm not going to. I'm going to tap all 7. Play Zopendrel, Hunger Dominus. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. So, I'll go into combat. It all doubles till end of turn, but I'm just going to attack with Elish Norn again. As it has Vigilance, I kind of want to keep some things back for blocking just in case. There are sorceries in this deck which will have all Revelers attack if able. So I want to have some blockers back for that. So I'll just go for the Vigilance and get rid of another Rollicking Throng. This other one, the 2/4, has Death Touch. I'm not looking to kill my creature right now, so we'll just leave it at that. Those are both Rollicking. Kind of have that over there. All right, so just like I said, here you go. Impulsive Charge. Beginning of combat, all Revelers gain haste and attack. And an Ecstatic Piper, which would be attacking anyway. So I'll block all, let's see, the Rollicking Throngs and the Ecstatic Piper to gain 2 life. But I will be taking the 2/4 Death Touch to go back down to. So I remain at 9. Okay. This is always a tough decision with this card. It's a battle. You can pay 2 and X. And when it enters, search your library or graveyard for a non-human creature card, mana value X or less, put on the battlefield. The reason this is tough is because I always have a hard time deciding what to get out. But we'll just go for the full Monty here, so the X will be 5 or less. You kind of put the battle on this side. It's not going to really matter for this game since this deck can't block, but we'll still do that. Search for a non-human, which they are all Phyrexians in this deck. 5 or less. There's too many good choices. Could go with the Track Separator's Voice. Though I do like, where is he? Well, there's a Shieldred, like that. I do like getting Brimaz. That can beef up my creature count pretty well. Whenever you cast a Phyrexian or artifact creature spell, you can incubate X. So not only you're playing your creature, but also getting these Phyrexian tokens to turn into creatures. Oh, it's a tough decision. Azuri is also good. Vorinclex. Give me some more lands if I need it. Oh boy. I'm just going to make a quick decision here and just go ahead with the Atraxa. That's fine. Do like Brimaz, but Atraxa at least will give me some proliferating in the lifelink. Another card with some vigilance for some attacking without having to tap down. But at the combat, double the power of each creature. And I'm going to take advantage of this deck not blocking. In normal situations, it might be a little more difficult to come at this battle, but I am going to just attack that for a 6/10. Since both power and toughness are doubled, then this card will flip into a creature. In 8/8, for each non-human creature you control, you may have that creature assign combat damage as though it weren't blocked. And as you know, they're all Phyrexians. This is the only creature in the deck that's not a Phyrexian, and, well, it's typically a battle, so. But it gives that non-human creature benefits there. But I mostly like it just for searching out cards. There's a lot of good 4 and 5 mana cards, which makes this not too hard to, get those out with. Anyway, then the God deck will go. There's the Return to the Ecstatic Pipers, which now there are some in the graveyard. And a 3/1 First Strike. So I will return 2 Ecstatic Pipers. Then I will take 4 for there being 4 Revelers on the field from that same sorcery. The Ecstatic Pipers enter and will attack, but I can easily block them. One of them with the Atraxa to gain 4 back and remain at 9. And at the end of turn, I guess I did not proliferate. So whatever, that would be a 4 and that would be a 2 typically. Gotta remember my triggers. Okay. I'll play a Phyrexian Censor. Each player can't cast more than 1 non-Phyrexian spell each turn. Non-Phyrexians enter tapped. In this instance of these self-playing decks, I'm not going to limit the ruling on that. 2 cards come out. If they both happen to be Revelers, I'm still just going to have them come out. I'm going to do the 2. I'm not going to change that, but I will have them come in tapped using the second ability. But I'll attack during combat. I'll attack with Atraxa, I guess, this time. I'm still not going to go for the Death Touch. I'm not trying to lose anything. None of my stuff has First Strike or Indestructible or anything like that. So I will do the 3/1, however. This has a hero reward of gaining 3 life, but I'm going to skip that just because I'm going to be gaining 4 anyway from Atraxa. So I'm not going to take the hero reward benefit. Should be okay without it. And at the end of turn, proliferate. And the God deck will go, another Impulsive Return, and an Impulsive Destruction. So this one is, each player may sacrifice an artifact or enchantment. This will deal 3 damage to anyone who didn't. And I don't want to get rid of my Wellspring, so I'll take 3 damage. Then I'm also going to take another 3. The Ecstatic Pipers will come back. I'll be taking 3 down to 7. They will be attacking, which I'm just going to block them both. One of them with the Atraxa to gain 4 and be at 11. And at the end of turn, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to tap 1 to remove 2 oil counters from the Wellspring to draw a card. I'm also going to tap my Island Swamp Forest to play Sultai Charm and get rid of this Death Touch thing finally. Destroys a monocolored creature. Even though these creatures are purple, I'm considering that a monocolor. And then I'll take my turn. Play a forest. Finally have 8 mana to play this card I've had since my opening hand. Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger. When I tap a land for mana, add 1 that land could produce. Whenever an opponent taps a land for mana, that land doesn't untap on the next untap step. Awesome card for a game with actual people. Make their land stay down. It does make you a target, that's for sure. Or make this for a target. And in multiplayer games like I usually play, someone most likely is going to have some sort of removal to get rid of that, but no reason not to play it, though. That's what I say. But anyway, at this point in the game, it's not even necessary to play that. There are no Revelers out on the field. I could just easily take this 8/8, attack Xenagos, the 6/5. He would leave the field, and that's game over for the God deck. In my hand, I just had a little enchantment that incubates 4, and when a permanent transforms, you can draw a card. You do it once each turn, which is good for a lot of these cards. Elish Norn transforms. The battle transforms. The tokens transform. So there's a decent bit of transforming in here for this to trigger off more than once and get some card draw going. But this deck played well. Played exactly how I would like it to. That first shuffle up with not many lands, I mean, that's to be expected in any deck. That'll happen, as you all know. But still was satisfied with the play of this deck. If you liked watching this deck play against the defeated God deck, make sure to watch the other video where it goes against the self-playing deck to battle a horde, and also the video that goes through all the contents in this deck. As always, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.